Hey everyone, welcome back to Health Coach USA. Today we're going to talk about a topic that might surprise you, the potential downsides of milk. You see, just like managing a complex system, our bodies are intricate and interconnected. While milk is often promoted as a health food, and it certainly has its benefits, it's crucial to understand the full picture, the dependencies, the potential drawbacks. Just as a software engineer needs to understand the trade-offs of different technologies, we need to be aware of the potential impacts of the food we consume, even something as seemingly simple as milk. We're not here to demonize milk, but to equip you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions about your health, just like you would when designing a system. We want to help you understand the potential downsides so you can make choices that align with your individual needs and goals. So let's take a deep dive into these impacts, breaking down the complexities and empowering you with knowledge. Think of this as our open source project for better health. We're sharing this information because we believe in transparency and empowering you to make the best choices for your well-being. So let's dive into the 7 bad impacts of milk. All right, let's start with a common issue, lactose intolerance. It's like a system incompatibility, a mismatch between the body's ability to process lactose, the sugar found in milk, and the milk itself. You see, our bodies need a specific enzyme called lactase to break down lactose. But for many people, especially as they age, their bodies produce less and less of this essential enzyme. This can lead to a range of uncomfortable symptoms. Imagine your digestive system as a complex network, and lactose is a data packet that needs processing. Without enough lactase, the system gets overloaded, leading to bloating, gas, and diarrhea. It's not a system crash, but definitely a performance bottleneck. And it's incredibly common. In fact, it's estimated that up to 65% of the world's population has some degree of lactose intolerance. That's a significant portion of the global population facing this digestive challenge. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't experience any of those symptoms, so I must be fine. But here's the thing. Lactose intolerance can be sneaky. It can manifest in subtle ways like skin issues, headaches, or even fatigue. It's like a hidden bug in the system, quietly causing problems in the background. So even if you're not doubled over in pain after a glass of milk, it's worth paying attention to how your body responds to dairy products in general. The key takeaway here is that lactose intolerance is a spectrum. Some people are highly sensitive, while others can tolerate small amounts of lactose without any issues. The important thing is to listen to your body, identify your individual thresholds, and adjust your dairy consumption accordingly. It's all about understanding your own internal system and making choices that optimize its performance. Let's shift gears and talk about milk allergies. This isn't just a minor incompatibility, it's a full-blown system alert, a critical error that requires immediate attention. Unlike lactose intolerance, which is a difficulty in digesting lactose, a milk allergy is an immune system response to certain proteins in milk, primarily casein and whey. These proteins are like foreign invaders triggering a defensive reaction from the body's security system. When someone with a milk allergy consumes dairy, their immune system goes into overdrive, releasing histamine and other chemicals that cause a cascade of symptoms. These symptoms can range from mild, like hives and itching, to severe, like wheezing, vomiting, and even anaphylaxis. It's like a security breach, setting off alarms and activating emergency protocols. This is why milk allergies, especially in children, are taken very seriously. Think of it this way. Lactose intolerance is like a slow internet connection, frustrating but manageable. A milk allergy is like a DDoS attack, a sudden and potentially overwhelming threat. It's essential to identify and avoid dairy products entirely if you have a milk allergy. This means carefully reading labels, asking questions at restaurants, and being prepared to handle an allergic reaction if it occurs. And just like with software vulnerabilities, early detection and prevention are key. If you suspect you or your child might have a milk allergy, it's crucial to consult a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and management. They can help you navigate this complex issue and develop a plan to keep your system safe and healthy. Now let's move on to a topic that's especially relevant for teenagers and young adults: acne. While it's not a system failure, it can feel like a major disruption, impacting confidence and self-esteem. And while acne is a complex issue influenced by many factors, there's growing evidence suggesting a connection between milk consumption and acne development. Think of it like this: our hormones are like internal messengers, regulating various bodily functions. Milk, especially cow's milk, contains its own set of hormones, designed to stimulate growth in calves. When we consume cow's milk, these hormones can interact with our own hormonal systems, potentially leading to imbalances. It's like introducing external variables that can disrupt the delicate equilibrium of our internal environment. One hormone in particular, IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, has been linked to increased sebum production, a key factor in acne development. Sebum is an oily substance that can clog pores and contribute to breakouts. So by introducing external IGF-1 through milk consumption, we might be inadvertently amplifying sebum production, making acne more likely. It's like adding extra fuel to the fire, exacerbating an existing issue. Of course, acne is multifactorial, and milk is just one piece of the puzzle. Genetics, stress, and skincare habits also play significant roles. But if you're struggling with acne, it might be worth experimenting with reducing or eliminating dairy from your diet to see if it makes a difference. It's like debugging your system, identifying potential triggers, and optimizing your code for clearer skin. Let's delve deeper into the world of hormones in milk. Remember, cow's milk is designed for calves, not humans. It's packed with hormones that promote rapid growth and development in these young animals. However, when we consume these hormones, they can interact with our own endocrine systems, potentially leading to unintended consequences. It's like, well, injecting code from a different operating system into our own, potentially causing unexpected behaviors. One concern is the presence of estrogen in milk. While the levels are generally low, some studies suggest that even small amounts of external estrogen can disrupt our hormonal balance. This is especially relevant for women, as estrogen plays a crucial role in reproductive health and menstrual cycles. It's like introducing noise into a delicate communication channel, potentially interfering with the intended message. Another concern is the potential for these hormones to contribute to hormone-sensitive cancers such as breast cancer and prostate cancer. While the research is still ongoing and more studies are needed, it's a valid concern, especially given the widespread consumption of milk and dairy products. It's like introducing a potential security vulnerability into the system, something that warrants careful consideration and further investigation. The takeaway here is that while milk does contain beneficial nutrients, it also comes with a cocktail of hormones that can interact with our bodies in complex ways. It's important to be aware of these potential interactions and make informed choices about our dairy consumption, especially if we have any hormone-related health concerns. Now let's talk about a hidden danger in the dairy industry: antibiotic residue. Just as we use antibiotics to fight bacterial infections in humans, antibiotics are commonly used in dairy farming to treat and prevent diseases in cows. However, this widespread use of antibiotics has unintended consequences, both for the cows and for us as consumers. Think of it like this: antibiotics are powerful tools, but their overuse can lead to antibiotic resistance. When bacteria are repeatedly exposed to antibiotics, they can develop mechanisms to survive, rendering the antibiotics ineffective. This is a growing concern in healthcare, as antibiotic-resistant bacteria pose a serious threat to human health. The problem is that when cows are treated with antibiotics, traces of these drugs can remain in their milk. These residues, even in small amounts, can contribute to the development of antibiotic resistance in humans. It's like introducing a weak link into the system, making us more susceptible to infections that are difficult to treat. Moreover, the overuse of antibiotics in dairy farming raises ethical concerns about animal welfare. Cows are often subjected to crowded and unsanitary conditions, making them more susceptible to diseases. Instead of addressing these underlying issues, the industry often relies on antibiotics as a quick fix. It's like patching a software bug without addressing the root cause, leading to recurring problems. The key takeaway here is that the use of antibiotics in dairy farming has far-reaching implications. It's not just about the residue in our milk, but also about the global threat of antibiotic resistance and the ethical treatment of animals. As consumers, we have the power to demand better practices and support sustainable and humane dairy farming. Let's shift our focus to another important aspect of milk, its fat content, specifically saturated fat. Now, fat is an essential nutrient, providing energy and supporting various bodily functions. However, not all fats are created equal, and saturated fat, found in abundance in full-fat dairy products, has been linked to negative health outcomes, particularly cardiovascular disease. Think of it like this: our arteries are like pipelines, transporting blood throughout our body. Saturated fat can contribute to the buildup of plaque in these pipelines, narrowing them and restricting blood flow. This can lead to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. It's like clogging the system with excess baggage, hindering its efficiency and increasing the risk of breakdowns. While milk does contain other nutrients, like calcium and vitamin D, which are beneficial for bone health, it's important to weigh these benefits against the potential risks associated with its saturated fat content. Especially if you're already at risk for heart disease or have other health concerns, it's worth considering lower-fat dairy options or alternative sources of calcium and vitamin D. It's not about demonizing fat entirely, but about making informed choices and understanding the impact of different types of fat on our health. Just like choosing the right hardware for our computer systems, we need to choose the right fuel for our bodies, prioritizing nutrient-rich options that support long-term health and well-being. Finally, let's broaden our perspective and consider the environmental impact of dairy farming. Just as software systems can have a significant carbon footprint, the dairy industry leaves a considerable mark on our planet, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, water pollution, and deforestation. Think of it like this: cows, especially in large-scale industrial farms, produce significant amounts of methane, a potent greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. They also require vast amounts of water and land for grazing and feed production. These factors, combined with the energy-intensive processes involved in milk production and transportation, make dairy farming a significant contributor to environmental degradation. It's not just about the cows themselves, but also about the entire system that supports them. The production of feed, the transportation of milk, the packaging, and the waste disposal, all these factors contribute to the environmental burden of dairy. It's like a complex supply chain with multiple stages, each impacting the environment in different ways. As consumers, we have a responsibility to consider the environmental impact of our food choices. Supporting sustainable and ethical dairy farming practices, exploring plant-based alternatives, and reducing our overall dairy consumption are all steps we can take to minimize our environmental footprint and contribute to a healthier planet. And there you have it, the 7 bad impacts of milk. While milk can be a good source of nutrients for some, it's important to be aware of these potential downsides. Just like managing a complex system, understanding these nuances empowers us to make informed choices that align with our individual needs and goals. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more health and wellness tips. Also, leave a comment below with your thoughts on milk or any personal experiences you've had. We're building a community of informed individuals, and your voice is a valuable contribution. Thanks for watching and enjoy the journey.